You have to have the will to find a way to win no matter what, because life is going to happen to each and every one of us. For me, it happened to be an illness, and I needed to find a way through that.
This is Stephanie B. with Career Makeover Academy, and today I have Jeanette Riles with Jeanette Riles & Company, a real estate investor with more than 12 years of experience, bringing her information online so that she can teach others how to do the same thing so that they can be financially free. You had a minor setback in life with some medical issues that had occurred. I'm not going to go into specifics about it. And I have medical issues. And I know that that has in the past derailed me. So do you have any suggestions for people that are in those situations when you're setting goals and not being too hard on yourself for not accomplishing that?
Let me tell you a little bit about it. I actually, when I was 40, I did the Philadelphia Marathon with my sister, who wanted to do it when she was 46. And my background was sports medicine, so I knew what it was going to take, but I knew my body would not take the training regimen that needed to be done. So I trained differently than most people would for a marathon. And most people didn't think I would be able to do it. But I knew that if I was strong enough and if I was healthy enough, I would be able to do it.
And you had the right mindset.
That's where it needs to start, is you have to have the right mindset, because if you have to do things different than somebody else, it doesn't mean you can't come up with the same outcome, but it does mean you need to be open-minded to doing different things. Mm-hmm. So that was the first thing, is I guess you have to have the will to find a way to win no matter what, because life is going to happen to each and every one of us, whether it's a family member passing away, something like that. For me, it happened to be an illness, and I needed to find a way through that. Being a real estate investor and being involved in my real estate really needed to change. I did a lot of rehabs where I was laying hardwood floors, painting, doing a lot of manual labor myself because I knew how to do it and I knew that it would be done right. That was something that I either needed to be okay hiring out, or I needed to find a different way to win with real estate. I would manage the process and still be there and just find another expert to do the job that needed to be done. But what I found was, because I was a woman, thought I didn't know how to do anything, which most people would think that was a disadvantage. But for me, it allowed me to find great people to work with, because they gave me a bill for $150 for switching out a faucet or something in the kitchen. I knew right away that I wasn't dealing with somebody that was honest.
Yeah.
I used that to my advantage. Again, it goes back to mindset, and I really had to find a way to win. And then I said, you know what? If I don't want to be as involved physically, I could sell some of my buildings. I could still have the money coming in each month. I didn't have to worry about any of the tenant issues. I did that with a great number of my properties just to take the pressure off, because I like to be in the middle of it. And I know that about myself. I think going back to whatever it is in your life that you find is happening to you, for you and I, it was health issues. You can still find a way to win, but you have to define the terms. Mine were, I'm definitely not going to jump out. I'm not going to go work for someone again. I needed to have that money still come in every month. All you have to do is change the way you think. There are so many creative ways to do things today that it doesn't make sense to give up, in my opinion.
And I do have to say that from my perspective, we had the car accident. I had some comprehension problems, and so I couldn't retain information. I was having problem concentrating on conversations. So I wound up writing everything down. Anything that came into my life that I would need to have make reference to later on, I wrote it down by hand in a notebook. I had several notebooks scattered throughout the house. And after everything cleared up and I went back to normal, I wound up starting to do bullet journaling. And so I do find the creativity that it takes to resolve that issue is something that I can bring forward. It gives me sort of a competitive edge, or it also just gives me a different perspective that other people don't have. Another thing it also does is allows me to streamline my process.
Exactly.
Because I was forced to actually deal with it on a different level than everyone else. I had to think about it more. I had to make more adjustments, and it was something that I'm able to assist with other people with. In a lot of ways, it's been just beneficial. It's like a blessing and a curse in a way.
It is.
Feel the same way, yeah.
Well, I do, because every day I was in the middle of construction projects and things like that, which I love. I love to redo things and make them over. I'm almost 50 years old. So for me, it was like, well, wait a second. Do I want that much physical labor when I'm 65? And the answer is no. I want to be able to be out and doing my own thing. The good thing about it is it forced the issue early on that things had to be a system. I had to figure a way around them. I mean, it sounds like a lot of problems, but actually it was very simple. Some Somebody else just has to be able to do the work, and I still manage the money coming in. That makes it very easy, very simple for me. I can be anywhere doing anything. If I buy more properties, all I do is I put them back into that system. I think once you find something that doesn't work for you, you'll search out until you find something that does. And the same thing with you writing everything down. I write everything down. For me, if my husband were to have to take over what I do, he would hire somebody because he didn't know the first thing that I do. He knows how to make repairs, but his job doesn't allow him any free time to do any of that. I have everything set up in a notebook, so if something happens to me, you just hand it to somebody else. There shouldn't be a blip in anything. Everything just keeps coming in. I think once you have that set up, it will take the pressure and the stress out of life for you 100%. And you use that and show that's so true with writing everything down.